Good morning, you little fuckers, and welcome to the Four Seasons Podcast.
Good morning and welcome back to another episode. How
Morning,
y'all
boys.
doing? How y'all feeling? How's everybody doing?
Loosened it up a little bit, kind of
Hey,
get ready.
I'm cold. I just did my cold plunge a little bit ago, so I'm freaking cold right now.
okay.
Mike,
So
how you
today-
feeling over there?
I'm doing good. A little technical difficulties, but we're working it out. I just gotta figure out some stuff.
Hey,
we got this. We got this. One day at a time. We got this. Don't worry about
I hope
that.
you guys
Even
can
the
see
pros
more than
need
my
it.
forehead today.
I see about like this. Anyway,
I know, but that's the perfect angle. So that's
yeah.
you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta work what we gotta work. Thanks to everybody that's listening out there. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love, the support, the comments, concerns, the likes, shares, and everything. Remember, all that is free. But today, we're here to judge a book by its cover, or better yet, don't judge a book by its cover. So, what do you guys think about this topic that we're gonna embark?
I think this topic can be taken so many places, and not just relationships, like in everyday life.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see somebody walking down the street, like, maybe looks a little less fortunate, but you never know that person's story. That person could have all the money in the world, and you wouldn't even know. Just because they don't show it off with fancy stuff doesn't mean that a person doesn't have, you know, what they desire, what they want. You know,
Exactly.
you don't have to show it off to have something. But that can also be, in a relationship standpoint too, because you may see somebody that you're potentially interested in, but maybe they have some qualities that you don't desire, or maybe some thoughts that you think about the person, or maybe it's even some stuff that you potentially even heard about the person, but you don't really know until you dive in and understand that person as a whole. I don't know what do anybody agree, disagree?
Mike?
Yeah, so there's two type of judgments. There's healthy judgment and unhealthy judgment. Unhealthy judgment is pretty much your what happened to
He dropped. He's here. Go on.
He'll be back.
so there's two unhealthy, or there's unhealthy judgment and healthy judgment. Unhealthy judgment is usually with malice, right? And we've seen that in a day-to-day basis when it comes to judging people. But there's a healthy judging when it comes to individuals, when it comes to attraction, or if we seek somebody, whether it deals with being a friend or a partner, future partner. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people in today's society don't like, they have this impression of you shouldn't judge people based off first appearance, or that concept. We always hear that, right?
Yeah.
But those individuals that sit there and says, "Oh, I don't judge people," yeah, they do. Everybody judges. It's human nature. Like I said, I read a quote. It says, "Human nature, the first glance can sway an opinion of a person's perspective on an individual." Everybody does it to a certain extent. It's just how we act on that judgment. Those opinions that we have on those individuals.
Right.
So my question is to you guys is, do you guys judge based off who you guys date or who do you guys pursue?
No. I'll go first. No, I've never judged anybody that I've dated or talked to, because I have no idea what they've been through or their past relationships, if they're healing, if they're going through some stuff, you know, I see it as I'm here to be part of your life. So if we're gonna talk and we're gonna get to know each other, I might as well learn who you are first before being, oh no, she's just this toxic chick next, without knowing who she really is.
Right. Otto? Anything?
The question was when you're pursuing people for a relationship, so I can't really do that, right? That was kind of the question.
Yeah,
The
but I mean,
question is-
like prior to. I mean,
Now, you know,
How'd you meet
right?
Annie?
But at the end of the day, I do judge, not in a way of putting people to the side. You know, I feel judgment is just your level of judgment is going to be how mature you've become as a man. You know, when you're younger, you're judging people by appearance, and as you age and you mature, you start to judge people by their character, their actions, tonality, demeanor, facial expressions. At least that's what I'm looking at when I'm meeting people. You know, when I first I told Mosca this a while back I'm pointing and I shouldn't be pointing because we're all in different boxes. But I told Mosca a while back when I first met him and I actually got closer to him. I looked at it. I was talking to him and I'm like, bro, when I first saw you, I thought you were just like a college student chilling in a library using free Wi-Fi. You know, so that was a judgment, right? And like as I got to know Mosca a little bit better, I told him one day, I'm like, you know what, bro, I don't know how, but one day you and I are gonna be business partners. I don't know how. I don't know if you remember the conversation, Mosca.
Yeah.
But I straight up told Mosca, I'm like, bro, when I first saw you, I thought you were just like some college kid that was immature at first, you know, the way that he was dressing. So I did judge Mosca by his appearance at first, but then I got to know him as a man and as a father and as a healer, and I said, okay, this is a complete different guy. So we all have judgment. Sometimes it's just very biased, and I don't think my judgment is in a place where it's biased anymore. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because I feel that I judge people by their actions more than how they speak.
right. And I think for me, in my life, clearly that I have been judged for who I am, the way I act, but more importantly, my first appearance is how I look, because I've been, you know, pretty heavily tattooed for a really long time before it was somewhat socially acceptable. Before, I used to be judged by companies that I tried to apply for. If I would meet a girl or whatever, and I would meet her parents. Obviously, people judge by appearance. You know, tattoos everywhere. You know, big old holes in my ears. Like, you know, obviously they judged me. And, you know, law enforcement, you know, you get pulled over or just seen anywhere by law enforcement. They're constantly doing the, you know, following you. So, you know, since I've been older, an adult, I tend not to judge. Seeing as where I came from and the background that I had, judging just, it doesn't work for me. I've never done it in relationships. I've never judged a woman by anything that she had done that I heard, you know what I mean? Because you never really know what's true, you know, because a lot of people like to judge people before knowing anything about that person. So as for me, I don't think judgment really isn't something that I do to anybody. I judge people more off of the way I see you move, the things I see you hear you say, like your movements. That you may be, you know, a nice person, yada yada, but I'm going off of what I see that nobody else sees. You know, everybody else looks for glitz and glamour, but I'm looking for the real you, and that's what I judge off of.
Right. Like Vato said, actions speak louder than words.
Bro, everybody told me that they thought I was some hippie tree hugger when they first met me on TikTok because I had the long hair. and you know, I talked at first quite a bit about like healing and stuff. So everybody thought I was just some hippie tree hugging guy from
Right?
From Washington, up in the forest. Energy.
I'll hug a tree and then I'll shoot it with my shotgun.
What about you, Mike? Answer your own question.
Look at it. I do judge people, and like you guys, most people might take that as a negative aspect. It's not. It's understanding that judgment is essential. It isn't mean or unkind. It's having the ability to see things that are taking action to change what we don't like in life is important, and whether it's part of a progress in life. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah.
I know people that carry themselves very well, man, but once you get to know them, they're just pieces of shit.
Oh, definitely.
Let's be honest, you know. So I think everybody looks at somebody and then starts to look at them and says, what kind of person is this really? Especially as men. Because women have this instinct. They can, for the most part, they have that sixth sense. They feel it in their gut, but they don't know if it's a good feeling or a bad feeling until they get to know the person. But Annie will be like, I don't know about this person, and she normally ends up being somebody that shouldn't be in our life.
Right.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the same way I am. I'll figure out what kind of person you are. Like I said, I don't like to automatically pass judgment, because just, you know what I mean, I'll look at your actions first, and then I'll decide whether or not you're a person that I could accept in my life the way you move, and if not, then I just won't fuck with you. And I think that goes back to like the growth part of growing up, getting older. I don't tolerate a lot of the bullshit that I used to. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't fit somewhere that benefits some positivity in my life, I don't need to fuck with you. I'm not going to judge you, but you're just not for me.
Yeah. Boundaries, right?
Not for me. Yeah, it's boundaries, it's growth, it's not giving a fuck. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't need anybody for anything but the positivity, but I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge the person that I don't want to associate with. It's just that you're not for me. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Mike. Welcome back, Mike.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got somebody knocking on the damn door. So going back to like why I judge people based on it. Like I said, you got unhealthy judging and then healthy judging. Healthy judging is pretty much where you're protecting yourself from the negative aspects of life and what people bring. Just for example, if someone walks in and I see that they carry themselves in a negative manner, I'm already going to judge them. But again, at the same time, it's like, you know what? I don't like the way this person moves. I'm not getting to know them. It's just a healthy thing.
Right.
Now, I understand the concept where you guys saying, well, I'm not going to pass judgment. I'm going to get to know the person. okay, that's your preference, and that maybe you're that type of person. But when you have done certain things and pursue certain friendships over and over again, those individuals either broke that friendship, broke that trust in the past. That's where the bias part comes in, is you have that experience. So when you see certain people walk a certain way or carry themselves a certain way, you just don't want to deal with that. And 90% of the time, your intuition is going to be true. Your intuition is going to be correct about how you read a certain person. Now, the difference is how what you said and what you thought of Mosca when you first met him. But guess what? That's a different thing. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna pass judgment. I'm gonna get to know this guy. Hey, you know what? I found out this guy's pretty cool. You know, I knew this guy was a Rams fan from the day one, and I didn't like that. But at the same time, that's not good. That's not gonna differentiate if I'm gonna carry a friendship with this guy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about what they always say. A woman or a man can tell whether you're going to be a good person, a friend, or a partner within the first 2 to 5 minutes of meeting somebody. First impressions are lasting impressions, and that's, I'll be honest with you, I carry that with every person I meet. If you vibe with me in the first 5 minutes, then we're going to be good. Yes, if you're dressed in a certain way, I'm going to judge you on your dress in a certain way. If your shoes are dirty, I'm going to judge you on your shoes are dirty. I'm not talking about work shoes. That's different, Nick. Okay? Because I know you work outdoors. I know you're a mechanic. That's one thing. But
no shoes.
It's healthy. It's healthy to have a little bit of bias and a little bit of judgment based off who you talk to. Because our mind automatically does that. Like I said earlier, when someone says they don't judge people, they do to a certain degree. They just don't do it in a negative aspect compared to what they used to do.
Right.
Which is, like I said, it's healthy versus unhealthy. And I like to draw that line in the middle when I start talking to people or talk to like new relationships or whatever. Hopefully this is my last relationship. I don't worry about that. But I do agree.
I'm rooting for you, bro. I'm rooting for you.
I do agree with you guys. I agree that, you know, judging in a negative light is not a good thing, you know, but it is healthy to judge just a little bit, and we do that to protect ourselves. So
yeah, I guess if you look at it in that light, I guess you could say based upon the way I feel, I mean, I guess it would it be considered judging somebody? I mean, when you're trying to seek out their character,
it's a perception.
Yeah.
Perception and judgment could intertwine with each other. Yeah. So your perception on somebody could take you a long way, or it could stop you. So
yeah, I'm a visual guy. I'll look at the way you move and the way in your actions, and I listen to you. And I mean, I guess that could be judging you if I don't want to fuck with you. I guess I could be judging you. That's just a person I want to. If you look at it that way. Yeah, but then again, but everybody's entitled to like judge at that aspect. Like, okay, yeah, you know what, you move differently than I want in my life, so that way you know what I mean. It's you don't fit here. I guess that could be some sort of a judgment, but I mean,
it is. And you know what?
Yeah.
I've seen a quote, and I'm about to read it to you. It says, "Our brains are wired to make automatic judgments about others' behaviors, so that we can move through the world without spending much time or energy in understanding everything we see. Understanding is hard, and it requires deep thinking, patience, compassion, and self-mind." I don't have patience for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm into you. You know what I'm saying? So that applies to me, because at the end of the day, like, we automatically pass judgment. But if we really essentially want to get to know you, then we'll take time, and that it does take patience, and we'll have compassion about your past, because depending on what you go through, like the whole tattoo situation, I was like, bro, Nick, I want to know your story. You know, I want to know your story. Like, some people look at my tattoos, I don't get as much as you, but I'm pretty sure they pass judgment on me all the time. You know, and I was telling Mosca earlier, I was like, I was judged for years and years just on the dating aspect of me being a Marine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They're like this. Oh, you're a Marine? Oh no, all Marines cheat on the girls. I'm like, damn, you judge me based off your poor choices of men. Like, but,
just because you heard it happen to somebody.
Exactly,
Right.
or that. My best friend's sister's cousin got cheated on by a Marine or by someone in the Army. And we're like, whoa, lady. All right, we're Marines, not Army. Two different branches.
I have a question. I have a question for all of you in the box, and I have a question for the audience. So make sure that the audience, make sure you guys answer these questions on our platforms as well. Do you all feel that you pass judgment based on your traumas? Based on your unhealed traumas or based on the traumas that you have healed?
Definitely. I do. I start questioning myself or start judging the person like, By the way, we're still dealing with that whole AT&T outage. Yes. And the one thing that I judge on a lot, I think it's because how you said past trauma relationships. It's if I'm talking to you and you're constantly doing something else on your phone while I'm right here in front of you, like what's so important that you can't look at me and talk to me that you're on your phone? Like you can't even have a 5-minute conversation with me because you keep doing this.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm right here. Or even when we're on TikTok, it's like pause. Like, what are you doing? What's so important that and it's worse because sometimes the people that do that are the ones that are asking a question. They want an answer from you, but you're not even there to listen to the damn answer. It's like, Jesus, dude, like why?
What do you think when guys do? Where'd they go?
Exactly.
Where'd they
And
go?
which is they're like,
Sorry, I was getting the call from
when
the
guys
guy
what?
that I'm talking to that I was asking a question about.
It's always the next excitement. It's always the next excitement, and I think people have a really short fucking attention span. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do too. I have a very short attention span.
So Mosca, I got a question for you. So you saying that when you get to know somebody within the first 5 minutes or so, and you're talking to them whether on the phone or on TikTok, and they're doing these certain traits, these bad red flag traits that you've seen in the past, you dealt with in the past, would you consider that judging them and making that like your first impression is the last impression? That's your last impression. Isn't that judging? Or
yeah, that's why I agreed with you on that.
I was just clarifying.
Yeah.
Make sure we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
I'm just going there.
As soon as I see it, see that's the thing. Like on TikTok, I can be talking to somebody on TikTok and they'll be on the damn camera for hours without doing that. And then you said the first 5 minutes impression, I was like, oh, okay, you know what? She's this, or like they're here interacting nonstop. It's the next week or the following days when you start seeing it.
Oh, you're right. Well, he said that he doesn't judge people. I forgot that it was Vato that said that. I got you guys confused. I apologize. I just had to go back in my memory bank.
No, bro. Look, I judge people, but when I'm getting to know somebody, people go in categories. Either gonna be a friend, a mentor, a student,
or balloons.
My bad. A friend, a mentor, a student.
You're doing magic.
A friend, a mentor, a student, a client, or a business partner. Or, worst case, you're going to be my enemy. Everybody goes into categories for me. When I get to know you as a person, and the thing about social media is you'll never really know people fully. People are only on social media, you're only going to know a percentage of people. That's the same with me. People are only going to know a percentage of me until we hang out and see how we really are, you know? And that's why I like having people on multiple social media so that I can see, because people are going to share different things on their Snapchat stories or their Instagram or Facebook than they are on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I feel like TikTok is just kind of an escape route, so
Yeah.
for most people. The other
It's an
social
out.
medias show more. So I do judge people, Mike, but I'm not like at this point. I mean, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but I learned this from one of my big homies. You know, he once told me, when you get to know people and you're hanging out with them, think about worst case scenario first. How am I gonna take this person out if it comes down to it? You know, how do I take care of, if this person becomes a situation in my life, how do I take care of the situation? So it sounds weird, bro, but I'm like, I'm not using my judgment in a like trying to sort people out of my life type of way, but I'm using my judgment as what role can we play in each other's life? You know, or am I even going to be able to play a role in this person's life? Everybody's a role in my life.
So either you're projecting or you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that does come from traumas, bro, because, you know, there was a time in my life where if I saw somebody wearing a certain color a little bit too heavy, I always used to be like, okay, is this guy going to be cool with me, or is he going to try to start some shit? You know? So
I can see that.
I've had that since I was a kid, you know, so I had to heal a lot of my traumas to be able to not use my judgment in those directions and feel uncomfortable around certain people for quite some time. And I feel like that's where everybody is. That's why I asked the question. So I want to hear everybody else's answer. Do you judge people off their unhealed traumas? Do you look at somebody and you're like, my brain is triggering because I remember that person, that person's demeanor fits this person's demeanor that I once had to deal with?
You know, I was raised in a broken home. But then again, so were a lot of people. I know being raised in a broken home affects people differently. And especially depending on your age. I think when my parents split up, I think I was about 7 years old. I think because my little sister was only a couple months old when it happened. I remember being that age and having a lot of questions. You know what I mean? I didn't see my mom quite as much because, you know, being a boy, I lived with my dad and my sisters lived with my mom, right? You know, because I don't know. Obviously, my dad didn't want to let his boy go. That was a little. I didn't understand it at the time. You know what I mean? Because clearly, I didn't see my mom every day anymore. So I wondered that, and then, you know, you start thinking like, "Fuck, did my mom not want to see me anymore?" But as far as that goes, I don't think I wouldn't judge anybody based on that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, as I got older, I'm sure we'll dive into these topics. You know what I mean, about childhood things and more traumas and shit like that once we get a little deeper into the podcast, and that's not what we're talking about right now. But my traumas as a youth, I don't think I can judge anybody off that, because you can't judge anybody off some shit that they can't control. Like, as far like if it was like an older trauma, would I, like, if, say for instance, if I was in a relationship and something went horrible, would I judge the next person on that? I don't think I would judge. I might have a guard up. Maybe that is a little judgy to automatically assume that might happen. But as far as that aspect goes, like, no, I don't know. I just try not to be a judgmental person, like, in general. like like I said before, I'm gonna judge you off of your moves and the character that you are, or the character that you show me, even if that's not really who you are. That's who you chose to show me. So then I will judge you off of that, I guess.
Mike?
Like I said, I judge. It doesn't matter what your background is. It's how you carry yourself now. You talk about trauma. Everybody's, like you said, everybody's had trauma. Different people deal with it in a certain way. What I care about and what I judge people on is based on their reaction and how they conduct themselves even after. Are they providing good services to the community, or are they learning from their mistakes or learning from their past traumas and make sure they're not bringing other people down in the process? Yeah, you're good with me. But if you sitting there and you use your past traumas as a way to make bad decisions in the future, I'm not going to want you around me, because I've had my own traumas, and then I fucking came and saw and conquered myself, my own mind, my peace, to be the person I am today. Do I know people struggle? Fuck yeah, I know people struggle. But
yeah,
I've seen where I grew up, there was two choices: be in a gang or fucking move out and fucking do something with your life. Go to college, go to the military. So when I see some people I grew up with, not friends with anymore, make bad decisions and blame it on their childhood trauma, I was like, bro, I was down there with you. You could have done something better with yourself. And even going through that process, having that conversation with somebody, they still have a choice to do right one way or another.
Right.
But if they're stuck in that mentality, then yeah, I'm going to judge you and be like, yeah, you should have done better. You could have made better choices with your life. Or, hey man, I'm proud of you. You did this and this. And, that's a healthy judgment right there. And I don't know. It really boils down. I do judge people, but not, like I said earlier, not in a way where it's out of malice. It's to protect myself, who I hang out, who I talk to, and who I date, so on and so on. I guess as long as you don't overdo it, I guess you don't, like I said, you don't act out of malice, then you should be good.
So I have a question. I have a question for everybody. People that are listening to this can even, answer this question in our comments section, or when we kind of have a Q&A. I know Vato is obviously married, and he isn't in the dating world and hasn't been in the dating world or anything like that for a very long time. Do you judge people like this? Okay, since we're all men here, I'm gonna say, do you judge women based upon how many relationships they may have had, by how many fathers their children have, by how many marriages they've had?
I'm gonna get in trouble.
This can go for the women that listen too. You guys can answer that, but do you judge men by how many fathers they have, or how many baby mothers they have, or do you? It's just a question. I mean,
we're gonna let Mike answer this question first.
All right, so
and then we'll come in after him, so we can maybe bring it down a little bit. But go ahead, Mike.
I'm about to cause some chaos there. All right, so I was hoping someone would ask this question. All right, I seen it. This is a study. All right, there's a study out there, and I have
oh shit.
It says that there's a research on partner count and fidelity. Find out each additional sexual partner a woman tax increase her infidelity risk by 7% in a relation. So, yes, I do judge a woman by her past to a certain extent. If she is promiscuous in her past, but she has a high body count, I'm not gonna take a risk on that. Just like I wouldn't expect a woman to take a risk on me if I had a high body count, right? But we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, so I don't know. A woman's past, if she has multiple partners or multiple baby daddies, blah blah blah, it tells me that she makes poor choices in life, and then she doesn't learn from her mistakes. If she keeps going from one partner to another, and to another, and to another, that tells me that she doesn't learn from those bad red flags or those bad encounters that she got in relationships with. She just continues to get into another bad situation. Why would I want that type of trouble in my life? I'm not trying to sound mean about it. I'm just, like I said, I got enough issues on my own, right? I learned from my past relationships, and I go from one relationship and I try to improve myself. If I'm doing something wrong, I try to improve myself from one relationship to another. And when I get into, I'm 37, about to be 38, I'm at that point where I don't want to deal with that shit anymore. So if I see a woman or I hear a woman and she tells me, oh yeah, I got 15 baby daddies, I'm just like, man, that's going on the high end, right? But like
really high end.
If they go like 4, okay, let's bring that down, 4 or 5 baby daddies, right? Then like, where are you picking these men? Maybe your standards are not as high as I thought they would be. Because at the end of the day, those same women and men who are the same way, because I'm gonna do this, so I could, put out the fire a little bit. Probably not, but
it can go for this. It can go the same. Men can have a bunch of baby mothers. Like it's just, it wasn't a question to pick on women or men. It was just a judgment. It's a judgment question. Like, and it goes for everybody. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of women out there who would judge a man because he has multiple baby moms. Judging prior to, because maybe you don't know the story. I mean, I don't know how you explain so many, but even myself, you know what I mean? Like,
would it be fair to say that men judge women on their past based off their body count or past relationships, just like women judge us on what we can provide in the future?
Bro, like with that one, that's a hard one because, a lot of women, like for guys, it's a flex. Yeah, I've been with 100 women. For a lot of guys, right? I've been with 100 women.
That's it.
But for women, for a lot of women, what I've noticed is they can easily lie about their body count. They could have been with 20 guys, and they'll say that they've only been with 3.
Yeah.
Even though there's a study out there that shows that women that have had 5 different partners have high risk of depression and anxiety because of all the energies that they've collected from those different partnerships.
I agree.
So
not every woman has a good experience. You're right.
It's to me this is kind of a hard one, man, because anybody can just, especially women, they can just say, oh yeah, I've been with 2-3 people, and you just really never know if that's the true. I mean, you can kind of tell because you'll see their anxiety levels, their depression levels, but you don't know if that's like a childhood trauma.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not really a question that I'll ask. I don't really. It doesn't matter about the past unless it has a paper trail attached to it.
Like a OS or.
No.
Line of kids.
I
like how everybody's trying to be careful.
like Dashiki, right?
Dude, I have kids with 3 mothers.
That's it?
Yeah.
No, but
I'm saying, well, I can't have kids anymore, so I'm good now. I you know what? And that's. Do people probably judge me on that? Absolutely, they do.
I'm judging you right now.
Oh, why does he have kids with 3 different women. Well, for one, you don't know the fucking story for any of them. You don't know if there was something bad that happened. Well, clearly there's shit bad that happened, but you don't know the reasons why. Nobody knows the reasons why until you ask, and I would tell that story. But and then like when it goes back to like body count, I don't ask nobody because I don't care. I only care about the present. I mean, if it's, say for instance, it's just me, okay, that's cool. That's all I want to know about. I don't want to know about everybody else. Whatever you want to do is your own thing. But the only thing that matters is the now, right? Not prior to, because I wasn't there. Like, and I feel like if somebody asks me that question, that's a motherfucking red flag, and it doesn't even fucking matter.
What's your body count?
I'm just gonna say 3.
He's gonna say three that actually matter.
Oh my God.
That's exactly it.
That's the best answer.
Nick, I do agree with you. It depends on the environment or the situation, because not everybody has a good experience. Not every woman has a good experience. Not every man has a good experience with their past relationships.
Right.
But when people set trends for themselves as getting one bad relationship to another, and they're not learning, like I said earlier, not learning from their past mistakes, or not learning from, okay, I need to stop dating these bad dudes or these guys that they're fuck boys, right?
Or maybe she needs to stop being a bad person herself.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So look at ladies, if you're listening, I'm not attacking the single mothers. I'm not attacking that, because obviously I'm dating a single mother before. But all her kids are from one guy from previous marriage. I have 2 marriages and I have my kids in both those marriages. Things happen. I get that. Sometimes it's not in our control, right? Things you went through was not in your control. Things I went through was not in control. Could we have done things differently? Maybe. Who knows? These women, they could have done something different. Who knows? But at the end of the day, how far can you go in life without possibly someone say, damn, like, make some changes, lady, or damn, make some changes, dude, like, freaking, you can't blame people for, hearing your story, and you're like, and you want us to feel bad for you to a certain extent, if it goes past a certain limitation, right? So yeah, that's why I say I do kind of judge based off a person's history, because your history is going to dictate your present and your future, whether it's in a good or in a bad way.
Right.
Yeah, I want to hear what Mosca has to say about this.
Yeah, Mosca. I'm sorry. Let's go, Mosca.
What do I got to say about what?
About this, about everything that was just discussed.
Hey, look, I'm gonna get to know you first, but like how you guys all said, your actions speak way louder than words. You can tell me your body count is 1, but if I start seeing dudes coming in here, you being on your phone, you doing other shit that you said you don't do, come on, I'm gonna start judging. But then again, past relationships have little triggers that trigger me real quick now, and it's fucked up. But I need to work on myself for that shit, because I don't want to be judged for being judgmental all the time, or just putting women out to the side. And I'm always getting friend zoned, and I'm gonna say this shit out here. I'm always getting friend zoned. I'm always getting put in the, how me and Nick said, I'm always getting put in the GAY zone, even though I'm straight. And I get put in that zone because women see me out here flirting, chit-chatting with other women. And I've always told everybody that comes to my lives, or everybody that sees me talking to all these women, I'm like that because they feel safe coming in here. I give them that safe zone. Mm-hmm. And then people start judging me. Oh, this guy Mosca over here is probably fucking all these women on his boxes. They don't even know. I was like, yo, like, you jealous because they talk to me, or you're jealous because you can't get them? Why are you judging me for being their safe place?
Don't be hate because you ain't me.
Exactly.
But then again, they see you as a topic here, a judgment-free zone, where they can go in there, talk to you, talk to anybody else that's around about anything that might be going on personally, just hearsay, without fear of judgment.
Yep.
And I think that's where a lot of people get scared to open up to other people because of fear of judgment.
I don't judge women as much, but I do judge about 99.9% of the guys that come into my life. So yes, I'm judging every fucking guy that's coming in there. Unless I know you on a personal level, or I know how you move, you good.
Oscar,
yes.
You are a definition of nice guys finish last.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
You are a true definition, because you are a nice guy. I think people take your kindness for weakness and take advantage of that. So I think, that's the perception that most people get, I'm guessing. But based off what I'm hearing, you saying that you always get friend zoned, or it's because people take your kindness for weakness. And I think as men, we should draw a fine line and say, hey, look it, women and men, they're gonna go to a certain source that is what, like you said, not judge. They're not gonna get judged. It's a friendly. You provide that type of environment, they're gonna take advantage of that. Especially if you're looking for somebody maybe to date. I would just be careful on how you kind of utilize that platform and utilize your kindness for that. Because I could be an asshole sometimes. I'm Nick's probably the same personality. Like if you talk to most women that I've dated, they could tell you I wasn't that easy. I was probably an asshole to a certain extent. Why? Because I was weeding out certain individuals. If you're gonna deal with me, you can deal with me, but I'm not gonna be. That's why you can't have female friends, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't have female friends. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna stop because I'm gonna stop.
You know what? Now that you think about that, like I'm probably a huge asshole. Okay, and people probably hear me and they see me and they probably do say, "Damn, that guy's a fucking dick." And you're right, I am a fucking asshole, like 95% of the time. But then again, you don't know where the fuck I came from. You don't know my history. You don't know my background. You don't know how I grew up. I'm quick with it too. That's the other thing, because if you got something to say, I got something to say before you even finish saying what you're going to say. I am an asshole. You can judge me on that. You can assume, but your assumptions are correct. And I will never not be an asshole. But for the people who do know me, they do know that, okay, he's a fucking good dude, but he really is that way, but he's a good dude.
Right. So would it be fair to say that we're assholes because it protects us from certain individuals?
See, I've been told to be an asshole, and you need to be more of an asshole to these people. Stop being so fucking nice. I was like, but
no, that's not
for me, it's like how do you become an asshole to protect yourself or anything like that? Like
you just have to read people, Mosca. You have to read people, because people will find a reason to use you, whether it's emotionally or physically. And they take, like I said, they're going to take advantage of you. You don't think I've been taken advantage of before? You don't think these gentlemen has been taken advantage of before? Fuck yeah.
Everybody has, probably daily.
All the time. So it's not so much of judging, like going back and start judging people right off the bat, but you kind of do to a certain extent to protect yourself. And no one's telling you to be an asshole, but be more stern on your stance. Simple. maybe
Yeah.
things will change.
That's why we can be very seasonal to a lot of people, bro, because they'll come use us for what they need, and then eventually they'll find what they need, and they'll move on to the next,
Yeah,
to
they'll
find their
join
next
back.
need somewhere else.
And I think I am the way I am too. Primarily because I know what I bring, because I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I bring to the motherfucking table.
America.
Speaking about what you bring to the table, get ready because that's one of our next topics coming up. But on that note, we're gonna leave that with that note. What do you bring to the table? You know, it's been a good talk for all of us. We all have basically different opinions here. In other words, we all judge. Don't say you don't judge because we all judge. So fuck you if you say you don't judge.
I think we can do consensus that.
I don't judge.
Big fuck you if you say you don't judge because we all judge.
I'm gonna judge you if you don't like me before you get to know me. I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you for that. But I am an asshole. I just want to
make sure
you know that.
Like, comment, share on different platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Fucking Nick. If you guys have any last words, say them out. Let's go. Any promotions, anything you guys want to say? Let's start with Vato real quick.
Yeah, just make sure that you guys show some love. Give us if you guys have any topics that you want to hear our perspectives on, just comment them on the podcast because we're keeping an eye out on that.
Nick?
Yes, please like, share, comment, engage with us. Please share the podcast out to people that might want to listen to podcasts or that do listen to podcasts. They don't even have to be a part of social media. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, even people that don't associate with social media can also, enjoy the podcast equally. So please share that out. We appreciate all the engagement. We're just trying to get this going more and more. And I am an asshole. Mike?
I'm a half an asshole. But when I have to be. Like I said, I could kick a dead horse. But share the life. And then if you guys got any issues or complaints or debates, go ahead and contact him. Mosca, he'll take all that. He'll take all the heat. Bring it.
He's been doing a good job. He's been doing a good job so far, saying one wrong thing on every episode.
Once again, you're an asshole. Fuck you. On that note,
I said it once and I'll say it again. We give props to Molska. He does all our behind the scenes, doing everything for us. So let's round of applause for this gentleman for helping us out there and doing everything for us. We appreciate you guys. And I don't want to say anything else, so that I'm done talking now.
Peace.